In this presentation, we're going to review using comparatives and superlatives. First, let's remember what an adjective is. Can you find the adjectives in this sentence? Remember, an adjective tells us more about a noun. So if you can find the nouns in the sentence, you should be able to find the adjectives. The two nouns in this sentence are falcon and rabbit. Now, the adjective that tells us more about the falcon is fast. And the two adjectives that tell us more about the rabbit are quick and brown. So, we remember now that adjectives tell us more about a noun, but what if we want to compare two or more nouns? Then we change the form of the adjective into its comparative or superlative form. Let's take a look at the two race cars. If we look at our first race car, we can say that it is fast. If we want to compare it to the new race car, we can say that the new race car is faster than the old race car. We are using the comparative form of the adjective to compare two things. Note that to change the adjective, we added ER. If we look below, these people are doing something that is dangerous. In the second picture, these people are doing something that is more dangerous. This is also a comparative, but because it has 1, 2, 3 syllables, dangerous, we add the word more. We can say, in picture 2, the people are climbing something more dangerous. You need to make sure that you know the spelling rules for changing adjectives into comparatives. Now, if you have one-syllable adjectives, such as long or safe, we just add ER to the end. Now, if there's already an E on the end, like in safe, only add the R. If you have a one-syllable word, such as big or hot, and it ends with one vowel and one consonant, such as OT or IG, then we double the last consonant plus ER. Remember, the vowels are U, A, E, I, and O. Now, if you have two or more syllables, such as careful or dangerous, then you use the word more. Now, of course, there's always something that breaks the rule. So if you have a two-syllable word ending in Y, then you remove the Y and you add IER, such as in easier. Make sure you review and practice these rules. There are some other adjectives that don't follow the rules, and these ones you just have to memorize. Good becomes better. Bad becomes worse. Far becomes further. Again, just practice so that you remember how to change these adjectives into comparatives. Let's practice. When you get to the next page, pause the presentation and try choosing the correct comparative form to complete the sentence. When you're done, you can continue with the presentation and check your answers. Now, if you want to compare more than two things, you need to use the superlative form of the adjective. It's pretty much the same as using the comparative form, except instead of adding ER, we add EST to the end of one-syllable words, and instead of more, we say the most in front of adjectives that have two or more syllables. Now, if we look at the three race cars, we can say the first race car here is fast. When we compare the first two cars, we can say race car number 18 is faster than the old race car. Then, if we add in our third car, the new race car, we can say the new race car is the fastest, or this race car is the fastest of these three. We can also do the same with the climbing. If we compare all three pictures, if we look at this third one, we can say his climb is the most dangerous of the three. If you can remember the spelling rules for comparatives, then it's very easy to also remember the rules for superlatives, except, again, instead of adding ER, we add EST. And instead of using more, we use most. The other key thing to remember is we always need the, because there is only one. Only one can be the longest or the biggest or the most. And here's those three adjectives again that don't follow the rules. The superlative form of good is the best. The superlative form of bad is the worst. And the superlative form of far is the furthest. Now let's practice by choosing the correct superlative form to complete each sentence. When you get to the next page, pause the presentation, and when you're finished, you can continue and check your answers. Now let's practice choosing whether the comparative. Now let's practice whether you should use the comparative or superlative form of the adjective. Now remember, when you're doing these, ask yourself the question, are we comparing two things or are we comparing more than two things? You should pause the presentation, answer the questions, and then continue so you can check your answers.